it's such an honor, and I am truly proud to be here with all of you. And I thank you all for coming today. You're really great friends, colleagues, business acquaintances, and all of you, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm very honored, of course, as everyone, to have Nancy. I call her Nancy because she's a fellow Buckeye. She's from Ohio, so I feel I've got that right to call her Nancy. But anyway, we really are thrilled to be here. As the Chancellor said in her recent address to the Chamber of Commerce, community colleges are a major economic factor in our community. And more importantly, once they're established here, they're not going anywhere, which is really interesting. You know, we've all been through the IBM syndrome, so we know what that means. But entrepreneurs are the same way. Take me as an example. 45 years ago this coming April, I started Kentucky Fried Chicken here in Kingston. And I've been here all those years training thousands of people, really, who have stayed in our area, and many have become successful business people. So entrepreneurship and the partnering we do with the community college is very, very important to the economic growth of our county. Our great country was really founded by entrepreneurs. We like to call them pioneers. And before that, we called them explorers. But when you analyze it, they were really entrepreneurs too. They gave up everything they had and came to a new country or moved on from the East Coast west to found a business and find something better for themselves and their family. So really, entrepreneurs have been around a lot longer than pioneers, big business, big government. We've been around for forever, really, when you analyze it. As you have heard, the purpose of this center, and you've heard all about Mindy's great talk, it is to foster, encourage, and educate entrepreneurs in our area. We can and we will create a renewed economic vitality in our community. Ulster County Community College has seen the need, and they have stepped up to the plate. And I thank President Cott, Mindy Cole, Anita, I won't go into your other two names, Anita Schmidt, and Marianne Collins for all that they did to help us establish this entrepreneurial center. We are very proud to, as I said, to be a part of it. And to speak of entrepreneurship in action, and President Cott mentioned briefly, but just to show you how ideas happen, as he said, I every year sponsor five of my scholars to lunch. And by the way, we always eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. So anyway, this year one of the young ladies was reluctant to attend because she had nothing to wear. Now this wasn't the usual female syndrome, I have nothing to wear. She really had nothing to wear. And so Burnell Roser came to her rescue and helped her acquire an outfit. And so when I heard that story, here again the spark came to my mind, and I said, well, there's got to be a way we could have a center where we collect clothing and then we help others in that same plight. So I met Kathy Kaiser, who here again jumped up, you know, ready to, that's the great thing about our Ulster Community College. We have so many wonderful, wonderful, talented people. And Kathy Kaiser, who is the director of the RISE program, said, well, I'll help establish it. So she did, and she came over, she even came picked up clothes. She came over to my house and got racks and racks of clothes, which was the foundation, but we had to get all different sizes, of course. And now we opened it October 6th with, there must be 1,000 items there, men as well as ladies' clothing. So we can help those students that go out for interviews, for interning, and for being mentored. Recently, as Mindy mentioned, we attended the NACE convention in Portland, and I mentioned it at one seminar. Now this is how ideas take place. I mentioned it at one seminar, and they were really interested, and already we've been back less than a week, and I've received inquiries from Oregon, from Vermont, from all over the country about establishing that center or Dress for Success that they can be called other places in their college. So this is really entrepreneurism in action. So we're proud that next year I'm going to try to speak at NACCE so I can really make an impact on them. So anyway, you know, we hear on the news about how difficult economic times are at the present, and that's all we hear. But you know, with every difficult time comes opportunity. Many big companies, very successful companies, were established during recessions. And to name a few, Microsoft, Krispy Kreme, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel had a very, very successful restaurant in Kentucky, and suddenly it was bypassed by a north-south highway, and so the business went down. It had to be sold on an auction block, and he had to declare bankruptcy. But the Colonel he had that entrepreneurial spirit. He took his first Social Security check, and at 65 went out on the road selling his method of cooking chicken and his 11 herbs and spices. And from that was born one of the most successful franchise systems in the world. Today there are over 10,000 outlets throughout the world, and still growing strong, especially in China and India, where they love it. So, you know, when somebody says it's a very difficult time, that's when we need action, and that's when we need this partnership of the college, the community college, businesses, and organizations like the Chamber to move us forward. And as you all know from meeting entrepreneurs, it seems like we have one thing in common. We have a fire in our belly to succeed, as the Colonel did. And I want you to know today that Mindy Cole, as the director of the Entrepreneurial Center, and I have a fire in our belly, and we're not going to stop until we affect the economic vitality and growth of Ulster County. So thank you.